Alright, so we're back with what I believe is part 4. And what we have going on here is we've managed to build a lot of nice wonders. We've got the Great Library, the Great Wall, the Hanging Gardens, and the Oracle. But we're not doing so hot in terms of score, manufactured goods. Because the strategy that Frododo is going for is mass city spam, and so each of those cities is contributing a lot of hammers. One potential problem with that strategy, or at least, so I don't have a lot of experience with this strategy. I tested it out myself one time, and the problem I ran into is I started wanting to get my libraries and happiness buildings online. And while that happened, I was attacked by someone who was accelerating their own military units. So here I see a unit from Frododo. Frododo is not number 1 in terms of military strength, but we are close to the bottom. So we're going to have to hope that we get our own military units online soon. The city is still prioritizing these food and gold tiles rather than this luxury tile over here. I'm going to want a road to Jenny here. Probably around the back way. This side of the river, this side, and then here. Or no, this way, this way, this way. Not here, because if I were to step an archer here, he wouldn't be able to shoot over any hills. With this scout, I'm not sure if I should use him to monitor any troop movements, or if I should delete him to save on maintenance. Given that we are very worried about what Frododo might be doing, we're going to keep... Alright, so I was friends briefly with Yerevan, and then now Yerevan is no more. So that was a short friendship. It could have been beautiful. In terms of literacy, we're above average, but the Swedes are ahead of us. I'm not sure if it's because they've got their universities online already, or they have libraries in all of their satellite cities, and that's pumping up their science per turn. So, since China and Persia are still taking their turn, it seems likely that they're in some pretty thick fighting right now. Looking at the military might, China is beating Persia, and Persia will likely lose some cities soon. In terms of what policies... so Persia went honor, which I've never found a viable way to make that work, and so did China, which is very interesting. I guess since their capitals were so close to each other, they thought that they needed to be fairly aggressive. So one very valid reason to go honor is that it gets you the extra great general, and when fighting in close quarters like this, the extra general means an extra citadel, which can make all the difference in terms of capturing your opponent's cities. Now here we just finished our workshop, and our manufactured goods are still pretty low. I'm not sure if we want to grab another wonder. We do have the 15% production bonus. Grab a market to get our money rolling a little more, or a military unit. So I'm still whether or not I should be feeling safe, I'm still feeling okay. In terms of how I'm defending myself here. I might want to buy this tile just so I can see what's going on out there. 45 gold for information, fine. Scout, a road. If I buy that, that'll block off his road, and I'll have more scouting information, but I don't think it's worth the gold. So we're still prioritizing these river tiles, which normally would be good, but I really want to push my culture towards Frododo to get my Great Wall benefits, and also grab this luxury here. So let's... who has excess luxuries? Either China or Persia would be my first choice for trading. Then it would be KD with the salt. Yes. So what I really want is marble. Let's see if Katie will trade. Oh, I don't have the extra resources online yet. He already has wine. So let's see if Frododo wants to trade some more luxuries. I really don't like helping the leader, but he's the only person who I can trade with right now. And he really needs the happiness. With that many cities, he's going to need the happiness. And so I guess China and Persia have reinitiated their war. I'll bring this worker down to build the road to Jenny. And we can farm up another tile here. We'll put that into the queue and grab ourselves a granary. And switch that over to a little higher production. So we're still doing below average in terms of military might, but at least that we're so weak is being hidden by the much weaker Persians. Our approval is the highest, and we're only at 5, so everyone else must be skirting pretty close to the 0. Frododo just entered the medieval. I think we've been there for a while. Not for that long, but for some turns. So here, we'll do manual specialist control. We're still locking down food tiles. We can work on that road that I wanted. In terms of techs, we're now 4 techs behind. It could be because we're not picking up these easy techs here. I'm hoping that's the reason. I think we have reasonable science per turn for this stage in the game. The Swedish satellite cities are larger than ours. Don't know if we want to grab 1, 2, 3, a city right here. Just to have a fourth city. It would also act as another buffer for our capital. We might want another city just to slow down our acquisition of social policies. We want to save as many of them for rationalism as possible. So there, someone's built the Hagia Sophia. What we want, since I was worrying about accelerating through culture so quickly, I mean, on the one hand, we do get the production bonus, which is nice. On the other hand, we don't really need culture. Do I want a settler, and do I want to drop it right here? I do need some more cities. It will be a bit of a garbage city, though. I think we can stick with 3, and our other cities will just get by conquest. Once Persia loses a city, we're going to have to start pumping our units, because then that loss of a city will signal their eventual elimination and will reveal us on the score screen as having the smallest army. So I don't want that to happen, so I think we're going to forget about the terracotta army here. We're going to grab a barracks, and then we're going to start pumping out composite bowmen. We're going to take out Ragusa, we're going to take out Quebec City, and then we're going to sit pretty while we go for universities and start teching up. Yes, that's the plan. I could attack for Dodo, but it wouldn't be too much benefit for me. I'm about to get these spices, I hope. I don't get any luxuries by taking this city. I do provide more of a buffer for my capital, but no new luxuries. Likewise with Rotterdam. It would start threatening his capital, which might encourage him to concentrate more on military than he might already be, and also bring his ire upon me. So there, I just finished a barracks. Gonna start churning out some composite bowmen. My scout has finished healing, so he's just gonna take a look at what's happening over here. Just finished that first piece of road. Working some decent tiles here. You can improve these deer. Get a chop in and then improve the deer. So chopping a forest on a plains doesn't lose you anything, and since they're deer, I wouldn't be able to put a lumber mill there either. So chopping here is a no-brainer, especially since I want to get my granary on sooner than later. So I'll chop that and then I'll make a camp. In terms of manufactured goods, I'm still doing fairly poorly. The average is rising. Not sure what's going to happen with Kith, but with people's manufactured goods and people's armies being larger than mine, I need to start pumping out some troops of my own. I'll have machinery soon. So here, Frodoto has declared war on KDJD. I'm not sure if he's going to have a army curving around the outside, but I guess having the Great Wall was enough to discourage him, Frodoto, from attacking me first. I also went tradition, so that means my cities have an increased damage to their range attack. So if Frodoto can weaken himself in his attack on KDJD, then I can go and either sit back quietly or I can go and attack him in turn. Because he is the leader, I'm not sure if this extreme city spam, how well that works in the long game in terms of tech. But holy jeez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he has 10 cities total. So having so many cities puts a drain on your happiness, which means that you can't grow your core cities as much, means you can't have as many specialists, which means your tech rate might be a little bit reduced. So if he doesn't win right away, I'm not sure what that means for his effectiveness in the long game. He definitely has superior production, and production means production is the main story in a multiplayer game. It means you can build more units, etc. So I'm really not sure how this will play out, but I definitely need to be concerned with what Frodoto's doing. Persia has yet to lose any cities. He must be putting up a very good fight. In terms of army, everyone's armies are still fairly close and fairly low, except for Persia. He's much lower than the rest of us. So I'm not entirely sure. I don't think Frodoto will be able to take very many of KD's cities with an army smaller than 36 military strength. So maybe he was just killing a scout to deny information. I'm not sure why they are at war. I'll just take a quick look with my own scout here. Yeah, so spamming these cities might not be good in terms of long-term tech. So Frodoto is saying that KD will tech up and then go and take all of Frodoto's cities. And so maybe that's why Frodoto declared war. He wants to prevent the tech leader, take him out before, neutralize that tech advantage before it becomes insurmountable. So yeah, as I said, no time to fool around. I've got to start pumping out these units. I think, by and large, at least for fighting Frodoto, we're going to want the rough terrain bonus, range attack bonus, or barrage. So here we're still not grabbing that spices tile. If we don't have the tile by the time my worker gets over there, He'll improve the cattle first, but we'll buy the tile. So China has quite the population, it seems. Their capital has 12, whereas ours is only at 10. Let's see how many cities he has. He's also, so China, like me, also has only the 2 expansion cities. Zombo 2 just grew. So yes, we'll want to lock down those tiles. And finish our road. So I guess since now we have 3 cities out, it was a little hasty for us to delete all those scouts. I mean, that extra worker rather, because we could have had these farm tiles improved a little sooner. What I'll do is I'll switch some of these over. And Jen can work those tiles instead. Yep, that looks good to me. So, we don't even have trapping yet. So, you'll go around to improve tiles over by Jenny. And I'll just keep my composite bowman on the road for more versatility. Just in case Frodoto declared war on Katie just to lull me into a false sense of security. Now that might be bordering on paranoia by just a little bit, but I don't think it's a totally unreasonable thing to do. Pretend you're attacking someone else. So here, population 3, a library is not that important. We're not making any gold. I think I want to get our workshops online. Eventually, since there are all these hills, we can switch over and get a lot of production with this city. So I guess I didn't really need to pop that composite bowman just there. In terms of working more food production tiles, I think we're okay. 9 turns to grow is reasonable, although in terms of comparing capital cities, we're one smaller than China. We're above average in terms of soldiers now, and our manufactured goods are still not very good. I think we'll bully Ragusa here. That'll give us more money in terms of upgrading our composites. So there seems to be a lot of war happening here. So here they're saying, or Katie was asking Frodo to hurry up, and then Wolfman was saying, hey, he's at war. But Frodo is only at war with Katie, and Katie would know, I guess, if Frodo was actually doing something important. So let's get on a hill here and see what's going on. We've just finished our network there. We can go and work on those cattle. We can farm this tile. Get some more rough terrain bonus. So we're soon going to have a fairly large army. I'm not sure what we should do with it. Oh, we actually have the largest army right now. And once we upgrade these bad boys to crossbowmen, we'll have an extremely strong army. It might be a waste just to spend them on city-states, taking out city-states. And actually, now that I'm number 1 on military, it might give Frodo pause with his war on Katie, and I really do want them to fight and spend resources taking each other down. So popping up to number 1 on military there isn't necessarily exactly what I wanted to do. So I think what I'll do is I'll take out Ragusa, then I'll swing around, take out Quebec City, maybe take out KD, because as he is the tech leader, that is quite a concern. I don't know if I can spend 7 turns grabbing steel so I can build the armory, or if I want to go and get civil service as online on the way to education as quickly as possible. So here, that would give me a little more culture per turn, a little more production. This, if I go commerce, the second tech in lets me purchase for cheaper, which could be viable, except my gold per turn is pretty low right now. So how useful that will be is questionable. +1 gold, 25 less gold for purchasing, +1 science for all of those buildings. I guess I could go towards mercantilism rather than opening Liberty for culture and then extra production. Alright, so this will boost my gold just a little, just by 3. We'll upgrade anyone who has some experience. And you were just in the right place at the right time. Fine. Actually, what I want is trapping first, then civil service, onto civil service, then onto education. So you there can get over to these deer. Oh, wait. Never mind. So I want to move my warrior into range, but no rush. He'll still get there with plenty of time to spare. We're working on our camp now. Now we're really leading in terms of military might. I'm not sure if that's giving Frododo any pause in his war. We've got a great general coming over. Would be nice if we had some horse units. We could do a snipe on that great general there. I think I actually will. No, I don't even have the technology for that. Alright, so we'll reprioritize to grab horseback riding first, then go drama, poetry, civil service, education. Because I do need some horse units for capturing cities or otherwise making trouble. There goes Machu Picchu. Someone entered the medieval. We've got our various things. Let's grab ourselves a circus while we're here. You can have an open terrain, and you can go and intimidate Quebec City. So it looks like they're actually at war. I think it's time to upgrade a couple more units. And we'll just stop the video here.